a little bit earlier, even earlier than I had planned. I planned to do a 1500 for your non-military people. That's 3 p.m. And I started 15 minutes early because, well, one, we had people waiting, and two, I want to get this done. We got a long trip to go here. We're not in BNSF for the first time in a while, but we're still in SoCal. We're on the Mateo community server for now. And we're going to, maybe my voice is soft. See, my voice is, yeah. The music was a little loud. But listen, if it's too loud, you're too old, they'd say. So, yeah, the intro music is usually a little loud, and then I start kicking it down a little bit because, you know, I do this kind of thing with the music. I really like the music. Not necessarily what I play. I do enjoy it, but I like having music in the lead up and then on the lead out. So I've had comments people don't like the music, but sorry, come in a little bit later and you won't have to hear it. I like heavy metal. I like all kinds of music. Well, mostly. Really don't know what I like. Oh, look at that. I like that paint job over there. Let me put myself on the ground or fly through there. Look at that thing. That had some graffiti or something on it that got painted over. What I'm guessing. That's neat the way they did that one. I didn't even notice that one. I don't even know what I have. So, we're gonna try something a little different today. The commercials are wigging out. Yeah. Yep. I let YouTube. I told YouTube I want, you know, hey, if you're gonna do commercials, being conservative, and unfortunately, you know, YouTube does YouTube things. Oh, that's a tunnel motor right there. So we are in that. Thank God I started early then. So I don't like a lot of commercials in there. So the engine numbers changed because I moved the train where I was. I was in the receiving yard here in West Colton, and I'm like, oh, I need to be in the other yard. So we are, let me see, put myself back on the ground here. The West Colton, we need to go that way towards Colton. It's actually eastbound towards Arizona. And we need to go the other way. Typically, so I've seen a lot of different information on this particular train. This is the M, as in manifest, West Colton, Roseville. This is a manifest out of West Colton that heads up to Roseville. Normally, many of them will actually head out and up the Cajon Pass and out through Bakersfield, but sometimes they go through LA and up the back way to the Palmdale cutoff. So we're going to see how that all works out for us today. We're going to see. So if you want to comment, say, oh, that train would never go that way, you are wrong, just as wrong as I am. It does go that way sometimes, just not as often. And yeah, leave your comments if you like, but doesn't mean I'm going to change what I'm doing. We're just here for fun. Nobody's going to die here. And if you want to be that serious, Depot Plus is the place for you, which I am a member of, but we like to have fun here. So we don't take anything too seriously. We're just trying to move some freight around. And you know what I did there? Just moving the rail driver and stuff around. So let me get, so if we look at, let's see if Firefox even popped open today. Good. Maybe I have to, oh, I had to click on it. So we're going to be leaving the departure yard here, and then we have to flip around. The map's backwards for here, so we'll see how well the thing is. I'm going to be on the UP. There's a derailment. Yeah, we have to go around. There's a derailment up there. There was on Tehachapi the other day, or last weekend there was. Anyways, I have the maps up because we're going to be going through and up through LA because thanks that farmer pointed that out, there was a derailment, so we'll go around it. I need to get to that's the Alhambra sub, but we'll find out as we get there. May not even use the map because we're going to go as you see out the window right now. But first, let me bring up Otto here. Now I'm going to actually switch over to, I want to get to the San Bernardino sub. believe it is here we want to go. It's actually right here. Let me set that one. That's where we want to go out. Let's see where it takes us. I'm gonna leave it up to auto, so let me tone that out. I'm gonna, yep, I want departure from the yard. I want to go the other way, so let's see what he does for us. Let's kick in the DPU in the rear. All right, the light's burning here. We got signal indication. You can hear it stepping up for us. So let me look here. Let's go back. We got to hit F3 back to the Cajon sub. And where are we? So he's going to send me into the loop, which is fine because that's what we want to do. And we want to go here. So he's already sent me the wrong way. We want to go this way and back around. So I'm going to not relinquish. Go here. Let's tone our dispatcher, cancel our route, and we'll tell him we want to do it. We're going to go more manual. So cancel my routing. And we are going to go this way here. And let's see what he says now if we do the same thing. So again, there's a derailment in the attach piece, so we want to go around it. So let's request departure from the yard. He should give me a handbrakes are coming off. I still have, okay, signal indication. He is not going to give me what I want. So I will then this time, let's go right here. We'll get going and then I'll cancel my route. So I'm coming off of the brakes there. Okay, go back to dispatcher, tone dispatcher. And then cancel. Then again, back to dispatcher, because we already set our path where we want to go. Slow down a little bit here. We're in the yard anyways. All right, and he gave me a Roger. He keeps sending me there. Now he can't get me lined up. So we're gonna stop. We're gonna have to stop at this right up here. Give me a signal indication. He still won't route me where I want to go. All right. Kind of routing me there. Use some air here. Let's slow her down. Because I do want to stop ahead of this signal. That's some commitment there, isn't it? All right, we'll bring the DPU down to 0, and then let's deal with auto now. Okay, so we're gonna cancel our routing, and then we'll give ourselves manual here. Let's see. Go back F3. So we're coming out here. We want to actually go this way. It won't let us do it. That's on, but we don't necessarily need to do that. Look and see where we're at here. So we are this, but we want this one. So we are switching that, and that's going to switch us back around here. So we're at this signal here. And we're going to give ourselves a restricting up to here, and then we should be okay. So let's get back in the cab. All right, here we go. So let's ramp. Go ahead and give ourselves 2 on the DPU. Wait for it to catch up. Season tickets, man, that's got to be expensive. All right, brights on because we're on the main, going on the main, even though we're in the loop. I'm gonna go ahead and start coming off of the independent brake now. Take a look up here. Yeah, we're coming out a little stronger than I want. A little red there in the middle. So we have our own destiny in control now. I'm gonna go ahead and defense. Feel like DPUs can take control with a little bit of delay now. We're on a restricting, so we'll cruise through this thing. Try to hold it around 10 miles an hour or so. We go up to 15. I think it's pretty level here. We should have the next 2 left turns. And then once we get around the corner, we'll ask Otto if we can go the way we want to go rather than the way he's trying to send us around. It's not the way we want to go today. Getting dynamics ready because we're starting to speed up a little too much here. Turn will help us take speed off, but we don't want to go flying around this corner. All right. So the idea that we're doing is we're going to take this train, we're going to take it to the end of the line in Los Angeles. Then we're going to leave SoCal and go up to Northern California where this train would be waiting for us and pull it in the Spark Shark. That's the plan. We'll see if that's what happens. Then we can leave this train up there and it can get built for Roseville, and then somebody can drive it to Roseville, distribute it to the locals. So it's a multi-server, multiplayer server kind of deal today. Here's the railroad train. We are pretty heavy. We're at 7,000 feet. We get the train stats up. So we're at 13,000 tons. 13,500 tons. It's only 7,700 feet long, but it's all those tankers. See if I can get a, let's release that and let's go here. We'll ask dispatch if he can hook us up. Gave me an acknowledgement, so that's good. Signal indication. So he is going to wrap me around main 2. We have a advanced approach, or whatever they call on UP. Let's take a look. Got a flashy yellow. Flashy is advanced approach. That's passenger. Advanced approach. Same. All right. End of our train there. We're looking at our rear end. Okay, coming out of dynamics. Let's give it a notch. gonna go on it pretty slow here. Got workers up here, so the bell's on. I haven't seen the DPUs yet. Be back here somewhere. We can go up to 30, but because the rear of the train is still in the yard, you have to slow down a little bit. Which 10 miles an hour is pretty good for me. So let me ramp up one notch. If rail driver just give me one. The thing about the rail driver, when you get that sensitivity and you give it a little bit too much gas, you rip your train apart and you're like, oh, I was trying to just do one notch and the rail driver gave me 5 notches. Or it speeds up and then, you know, it drops a notch on you when you're not expecting it. And then you look up here and you see, oh, it's pulling too hard, pushing too hard kind of thing. We gotta wait to clear the yard until we ramp up, and he's getting us out to this signal here and then over to Gusty. We'll have to go to the Alhambra sub from there. Let's see, the Alhambra subdivision up here. We want to go, I believe it's here. We have that as our next kind of deal. We have a clear head. Gonna have to get used to going through all these signals here, but we're going out to Fontana, so we have quite a few clears ahead of us. But again, we're pulling the train through the yard with a hiccup there, so can't really go too fast yet. There's the end of the train, just leaving the yard right now. Thought I had the light on. Short Hood Trail, there it is. Came on. Oh, so I got some new paints. Check these out. We got our UPs. And these guys are these replace the Southern Pacific, some ES44s, Canadian Nationals. Pretty good, I think. Reflect at night and everything. Enhance my Discord. Links down below. Should work. We'll take that up to Roseville and they can send it back off to Canada where they came from. This is why you can't get your test done. Talking about because you have some run 8 going on. The 10 freeway over here and goes from LA all the way to Florida. Oh, you're waiting for a proctor? Not a proctor. You're waiting for a proctor exam. If you put the two words together, it sounds a little bit worse than it is. Oh, you need to join the server. Okay, I see. Yeah, we do some streams on Sundays. Or we do here. Coming around the corner. I normally do mine Saturday mornings when I give them. Sundays are football and get ready for the stream days. The rest of the weeks are busy. Got to get a lot of stuff done weekdays. All right, let me get it wrapped up here. Up one more notch. We're out of the receiving yard, or correction, we're out of the what is that called? The outbound yard called. Why can't I remember that? Departure yard. Departure was the word I was looking for. Again, we're looking at the maps that are from the depotserver.com. I also have the signal rules from them as well. It's under downloads. Maps are under maps. We are going to be going through the San Bernardino sub. We are currently in the Cajon sub right now. We're working our way up to Los Angeles. From there, we will, because Los Angeles is not connected up to Northern California in the sim. You can technically go around the Cajon Pass, up the Cajon Pass, and around through Mojave, up through Bakersfield to Callaway, where it ends. We need to continue up to Reno, Nevada. But we're going to do that. We're going to, quote, simulate it. And we're going to take this train. We're going to put it on the Northern California sub. DLC, if you will. That means I'll have to exit the game and then come back in the game to grab the train from there to take it to Sparks, which is in Reno. This train will be there. So we're going multi-server, multiplayer, multi-server. Information for those discords are down below. Again, just like it's Murphy here. If you want to join the multiplayer server, you obviously have to do a check ride. It's not a real, we call it a skills check. It's not a Depot Plus check ride. That is we're a little bit less realistic as far as the expectations. We're a training server. We enjoy having fun without being overly realistic. We do like being realistic, but we don't try to bust anybody's fun by making you do exactly like real railroads do. We want to be as close as possible, but it's still maintaining fun. So come on here, have some fun. Of course, have to have that skills check to just show you that you know the basics of Run 8 for us, so that you're not going to kill the server every time you get on there. Like I did last week, by the way. I killed the server last week. I had a switch thrown, didn't realize it. My train went inside of another train, and the server didn't like that, so it killed the server. But once in a 2.5 years, it happens. So we got a combination of servers, and then there's the Depot servers as well. They have a public server, and you want to progress through the technical aspects of Run 8 and become a semi-master at it, then you can join the Depot Plus crew. And I typically do not stream from Depot Plus because the level of concentration I have to do so I don't mess up their server. I tend to just play that stuff a little bit at a time so I can concentrate on what I'm doing instead of having to talk while I'm doing stuff. All right, so I am on the main. Verify the rear train here, the DPU, and we're on the main. So we're going to go ahead and go with our, if I can get the mouse back so I can get in the locomotive. Ramp her up. Let's take a look at our coupler pressure here. Shift Z on the keyboard, or correction, Control Z. Is it Control Z? Shift Z. I said it right first time. I don't use I use the keyboard for walking and stuff, but I manually do most of my stuff through a rail driver. So I'm not don't know all the keys on the keyboard, don't know most of them. We're gonna look at the coupler pressure here. We have clears ahead, so we're authorized to go 50 miles an hour. If I look at the map, which I'm doing on the other screen for me, I don't see any speed restrictions. The map's backwards too for Cajon for some reason. They never flipped it around. We're going into A, we're gonna go Kaiser Yard. Now there's no speed limits on this one. Don't see any speed limits on any of these, so we'll have to keep an eye out for the road signs here in front of us. Keyboard is that thing that you type stuff on. Looking right now to see where am I supposed to. I don't want to go back to Yuma. We're going up towards Alhambra. Everything's looking good here. Coupler pressure's 89. Love it. 26 miles an hour. And again, we are a 7,700 foot long train, 13,500 on the tons, 90 loads, 32 empties. We are 5 lead locomotives and 3 DPUs. We got some weight and got some mountains in Donner to cross once we get up to Sparks. Got some a little bit here in the LA area. Got to get over to Palmdale. It's no big deal. Most of that we're not going to see because there is no track in the sim. We want to make sure that when it gets there, it has the correct power to get over that 4% grade of the Donner Pass. Not a whole lot of crossings here. This runs right alongside the 10 freeway. And we're going, let's see, Riverside, Cedar, Sierra, and D1. Matter of fact, I don't see any crossings on the map whatsoever. All the way up through Gusty. And once we get in Alhambra, most likely we'll have some crossings to deal with. So don't got to worry about a whole lot of horn honks. But for those of you who want to see it, or hear it, there's a crossing. I like it. It's all messed up. 5504 or 5405. Been on the rails for a while. It's got a lot of miles on it. Again, with no speed limit. If we look here, let's see. And the mouse is on the wrong screen. I didn't do that, so I don't know what notch we went into. 5, I guess. We're at 50, so 50 is our track speed. So let's see what we can get up to. We do got a ways to go. We don't want to break couplers, so we don't want to go crazy on that. See, we're at 200. 1,000 pounds on the couplers. See back here, the DPUs are pushing pretty good because it's turning green. If it turns blue to black, that means it's pushing too hard and it'll break the train in half. And here we're going, it's a yellow turn orange into red. That means you're gonna pull apart from the train. So we gotta keep this balanced in here. The closer to white it is, the better off we are. Right now my DPUs are free to run in accordance with the lead engines. I'm not fenced, as what we call it. Fencing is if I do that, and that means I have independent control of the motors in the rear. As it is now, we make commands and then the rear gets a radio signal and it catches up. If that starts getting too bright on the yeller and the orange, we can just let off the gas for a minute, go back in, and that should take some of the strain off the couplers. Got a clear ahead, so we got green lights. I don't see anybody else on here either, just us. So we're all the way to Gusty, and we'll see if I'll let him know where we want to go. Say request signal. The specific. You heard us the first time. Oh, we didn't ask. We just asked to go to where we're going now. Now we're just updating them on what it is we want, so it doesn't have to give us that attitude. Might have to meet them off of work. All right, what are we at? Control point. I'm in Alhambra there. Archer yard, glass yard, receiving yard. So that's control point Sierra. Cedar. That'd be Sierra. It'll go into single track, the siding right around Fontana. So. As we're going faster, we're going to get a lot more alerts too. You know, the control, we have to. That sound you hear is me bailing off on the brakes. Coming up on 50, so let's come down on. I see. I got to get my mouse off of the menu because nothing happens when you make changes. I'm gonna go to notch 3, take a look at our grade. We're going downhill. We're going to be speeding here for a second, so let's come off the power and look at our couplers. Everything turns white. I'm gonna give it 1 notch. Now it's all white. Maybe not even 1. You can see the mile per hour per minute. It's kind of, it goes negative then positive. It's right here by the speedometer. It means the cars are bouncing against each other, pushing them and pulling them and pushing them and pulling them and all that. So notch 0. As long as we hold out about, you know, a mile over the speed limit, we're doing okay. We may need to bring in some dynamics in a minute. Or even braking. If we were going downhill, probably need to put a little braking on. But as you see there, we're slowing down. We were until the cars started banging into each other. A little dynamic braking in now. DPU will respond as well. Some dynamic braking as well. Lay some amps down on the track to get us slowed down a bit. We are almost a full percent down, so we are coming down, so I don't need to overreact. Just slow it down a little bit. We're at 50 now. Even though it's 0.9, that's still 50 miles an hour. It's the first 2 numbers that matter. I'll come off a little bit on dynamics to try to stay around that 50 mile per hour range. Southern California is full of hills and mountains, so nothing's really flat. There's a control point signal here. This is the Fontana control point. a 0.5% downgrade. 2 miles under the maximum speed limit. Came off the dynamics just a little bit, so now we're speeding up a little bit, about 3 miles per minute on average. Gotta watch all these switches too, because there's your locals here. Somebody threw a switch on us. They're not CTC controlled, so it'd be like, wait a minute. Hit that one and fly off the tracks. I do have a save of this train, so. The little Kaiser plant yard here. Interesting to see. Oh, there's only one main here. Okay, looking at the map. Like, hey, those guys are on the main, but they're not. Back speed on 55. Got a signal coming up. We have a clear here, and then after that, let's see. After we pass this signal, we're going to ask again. Because we want to get over here to that one. We're here. Intermediate, you can see the mile post on it. Go ahead and ask now anyways. Be like, well, I already heard you. Well, you didn't do anything about it. So, I'd like to see if there is one that says, it says request. Yeah, he said, call me at the next control point. Which is this guy that goes into, oh, so he just updated us. Cool. So we're going to the Alhambra sub now. We'll keep an eye on these until we hit the next 2 control points, and we'll switch over. Dynamics coming off. We'll let the gravity, the weight push us a little bit. When notch 1, just a little help with that. Blowing down more than I wanted to. Another intermediate. All 52.57. Oh, 27.5. Kaiser. Look at this. All right, we're just coming a little bit. Oops. Not that many notches. Gonna go up 1 notch. Because again, the weight of the train, we don't want to go crazy and go up a whole bunch of notches and break couplers. We'll normally go up a notch, wait till things stabilize, the DPU responds. That's the wrong way, I didn't touch it. We'll go up to 3, we'll see that may have caused an issue. Looks like it's pulling though, not anything. A little bit of pushing back here. You see it's starting to turn a little kind of greenish. So into red means it's pulling too hard, into black or purple means it's pushing too much. You gotta kind of balance that spectrum. Shift Z on the keyboard, by the way, that brings up all these different heads-up displays or buttons on the rail driver. Currently says it's 88 degrees. I would disagree. I would say it's 106 right now in SoCal. Right where we're at. This is a little bit further, probably about 10 miles from where I'm sitting. Yeah, 88 degrees it is not. Here's a control point here. Your brakes are all charged up. HPT is 2.7, so this will be nice terrain to actually take up into the hills. It would be challenging, but it's got power. Especially for a manifest. It's probably over. It should be like 2.0 or 2.2 for a manifest. I don't know what the Donner requires though. I don't have those in front of me, those stats. All right, so I'm in the control point. I'm in the block, so let's go ahead and ask the dispatcher. I see the approach up here. He already gave it to me. Why am I asking? Why is he slowing me down? So he heard me the first time. Let's go ahead and go up to the next. So this is me here. I'm gonna hit tab to zoom in. We're coming out of Gusty in Ontario, and I want to go over here. So I'm gonna do that. I don't know what he's going to do for me, but I don't want to slow down. I'm gonna let him know. I'm gonna give him an update real quick. So he knows where I want. He's probably gonna yell at me and say all kinds of stupid things. "46 miles an hour. He acknowledged me. That means he does not disunderstand, or I guess how he understands what I want. But then he's got to be all lippy about it. Technically, the lights are flashing. I should be slowing down to 40 per the signal rules. There are a lot of commercials going on in YouTube, I see. Why is that? I have it set to, I don't want to make you guys watch a lot of commercials. Let's fix that after. I can do that now. That looks like a crossing coming up. All right. I just changed that. I'll put commercials in if I want them. You don't need to worry about it, YouTube. Thank you. Come again. If you got a whole bunch of commercials, apologize for that, but I've just fooled YouTube on what I want, which is so you guys can enjoy the stream and not worry about commercials. I'm not worried about money. Want to support the channel? You can just like watch all the video, like when you're going to sleep, all of them, or you can join. I don't have any additional benefits for you at this time, though. Let's see, looking up here, I see reds. Don't want to give me. Why are you not giving me a green? All right, let's Let's go into here. He say, dispatcher, I'm going to go ahead and update him. Say, hey, I want to go here because he might be trying to get somebody out of my way or something. I don't know. See what it is. I just got to clear now. How did I get it clear? It's not showing up. Signal location at Montclair. Who's that for? It's for UP someone. My symbol, 5405. Clear, ahead. Right there. We're slowing down and let's see where he puts us. Got the Ontario going here for 7,000. Guys coming at us. Well, I would like to at least get here. Let's see if he'll whine about that as well. I'm just constantly updating auto with what I need. Tell me to keep my shorts on. I have premium as well. I have YouTube premium. Yeah, I hate commercials. I also have YouTube TV, so that kind of makes me mad. I pay for YouTube TV, so why do I have to pay for YouTube premium? You know what I mean? It's like it should come in the same. It should be part of the same thing. I'm already a premium user of YouTube via the TV side. No, they want to get more money out of you. Whatever. There's our first crossing coming up. Big train, so we'll let them know we're coming. All right, welcome, Mr. Joe. You found one of the places to get more information on Run 8, that's for sure. I'll talk to you in a minute after I clear these crossings. Let's take a look here. So, I am on a multiplayer server. I'm on the Mateo Community Run 8 server. This train is from West Colton. It's going to Roseville, which is in Northern California, not part of the basic Run 8 DLC package, nor is it part of the Southern California package. So what we're going to do is we're going to drive this up through Los Angeles, where it will, quote, drive off map, and then we'll move over. We have to stop the game, get out of the game and come back in and load the Northern California section where this train will be, and we'll pick it up from there to simulate going up to Roseville, since they're not currently connected. I don't know if they'll ever be connected. That would be nice, but currently not fully connected. Typically, they run up through the Tehachapi Pass. That's about a 3-hour trip for us, maybe a 4-hour trip. Probably closer to 4 hours from West Colton. Maybe even 5 hours because of the 25-minute speed limit through the pass. Yeah, probably 5 or 6 hours to get through the pass and up through Bakersfield and then into Fresno. So it's a 1-for-1 distance. Fast as you can go is how long it takes in real life. Same. So we're headed up to Los Angeles right now from Colton, which is in San Bernardino County, right on the Riverside County border. We're heading westbound, but it's northbound for UP. So westbound and eastbound is BNSF in Southern California. And then north and southbound is what UP uses to signify the direction that they're going. We're currently on a compass heading kind of like northwest, west, but we are going north as far as UP is concerned. Information at your fingertips you can find at the depotserver.com. They have the configs that you would need for Run 8 is basically just a sandbox as you purchase it. It has the rails and the basic trains in there. You can expand that by doing DLCs and different sort of rolling stock, which I recommend getting a route or two first so that it gives you options in the rolling stock as you think you need it. Locomotives last is what I would purchase, and then passenger the very last, because we don't really run a lot of passenger on here. But that's just so you can identify the different types of cars in the yards as you're moving stuff around. I can put in a comment if anybody were to comment, if you're listening to this and you want to know my recommendations on how to proceed after you get the gist of Run 8, you feel like this is something you like and you want to expand. I can tell you just my thought on how to expand, which is financially, fiscally responsible, because it does cost money to expand. So does every other game that has this type of thing. I can give you my recommendations. What you should start off with, mostly the mixed freight packs would be the first thing I start with. And then maybe one or two of the SD40 locomotive packs, depending on the flavor of railroad that you prefer. But most important, I'd get a DLC. I'd get the San Bernardino DLC first, and maybe Cajon if you want to drive from Barstow down, or from Mojave down to Colton. West Colton is where we just started from, the yard. If you like doing local work or delivering to the customer and industry work, the San Bernardino offers more than anybody else as far as the DLCs. So the dispatch map, let me see, I got a signal coming up. I see I'm gonna be, let me go in here. Let's go over to the signal rules. I'm on UP. Let me zoom in a little bit. So I have a yellow over green coming up. So if you look yellow over green, it's not flashing. That's an approach clear 50. So don't go faster than 50, which I'm doing 51. So let me come on the dynamics here. Beyond that, I have a yellow and a flashing yellow. Or a red over flashing yellow, which is a diverging advanced approach. That means I'm going to be changing tracks. We'll get my train under control because I got to operate it first, and then we'll talk about the dispatch map here. So I'm going to be coming into this siding to stop because I got a train coming at me here. So the red is where the train is. The green is where you're actually cleared to go, and all these are signals. And if you think about it, if you're going the way I am, so I'm here and I'm going this way.
Detector,
I'm going towards the left. My signal has a line as if it was in the ground with the signal head sticking up away from me. So since I'm coming at it, this signal here would be mine. We're going to be pulling in as 14,000 foot siding. That's why I have the approach. So I'm going to start my slow down here. I don't go off the rails. I do have another video in my library in this channel, and it's how to use auto like a pro, and I will cover a lot of those in that video. A lot of the same stuff I'm talking about, but we can cover more of it here in a minute as soon as I get this thing stopped here in a couple of minutes. So if you got questions, please feel free to ask them and write them down. I'm not a real railroader, nor do I pretend to be one. Just an enthusiast, and I enjoy playing, and I've been running this sim for a few years now on multiplayer servers, so I do have familiarity with a lot of this information. Also a member of Depot Plus, which is pretty much the gold standard for Run 8 train sim operators, if you will. I'm coming at this thing way too fast. Not too bad to derail or anything, but be going a lot slower as I will be stopping here. I'm going to put on the countdown timer here. 7,700 feet to go. Yeah, that's the same thing. We're all kinds of simmers. We do truck sims, we do flight sims. I call today Simulator Sunday because this is the day that I do mostly Run 8. Most of the audience from this channel enjoys the Run 8 videos more than anything. 516, but I do enjoy flight simming, American Truck Simulator, Farming Simulator, and all the simulators.
6, train speed 42, MPH, ambient temperature 88 degrees, UP detector out.
106, not 88. It's all right. So I have, what do I got? Got about 7 pounds on. Really not a whole lot on the brakes, just a little bit. Dynamic brakes I'll come off of. I have another mile to the signal, so that says Bakersfield. That's not Bakersfield. We're in LA. They reused this building. It's not this. It's interesting. I've never seen that before. I don't run here a lot. I run a lot of the BNS stuff in LA because I'm the yard master for LA. San Bernardino sub. All right, I'm down to 17. I'm looking for 15. I've got an intermediate signal coming up. I know it's an intermediate because it has a number plate on it or a grade symbol. You can see the signal after that. It's an absolute signal. It means I cannot cross that red unless I get permission from the dispatcher to do so. This one is that were red, I would be able to stop here, make sure it's clear, and then proceed. I'm restricting speed past that. Restricting speed for those who do the skills check is a speed at which I can bring my train to a complete stop safely within half the distance that I can see. So I can see all the way up to this signal here.
That should help me get Barry out of jail.
So if I need to stop, I need to, or if I proceed at restricting speed, I need to stop in about this distance here where my mouth is safely in order to be able to call that restricting speed. Now I just took off. Just dropped the air on the car so the cars are charging back up. You see the very high coupler tension there. Yeah, the air is different cars are responding different in the valves with the air that I am charging back up. Going for white. 4505. Why I keep saying that? I'm 5405. Not dyslexic. So 5405, releasing from the dispatcher here because we have a train coming at us. This LXNP. It's an auto rack. It's autos pulling cars. Coming from Long Beach. They're going to be passing us here at Pomona, and then we'll be able to get back on the main line, continue north. I'm at 13 and climbing. Take off to, let's go idle here. Because again, we're going to be coming to a full stop so that other train can pass us. So we can order a pizza here, actually. Be a good spot to call, you know, Domino's or Round Table, I hear is really good if you have one in your area. I know a guy who said Round Table is really good. Also does these videos. He's lazy. Add a little extra dynamic there. Going a little too fast. Pizza. Right. Yeah, well, at this stop, let's see. We bring up the map again and we go, we're actually done with Cajon, so we're in the Alameda sub now. Let me see, let me find it. It's BNSF. All right, let me see. Thing is that the West Colton, the Colton DLC map from the depot servers actually backwards. Left to right is kind of backwards. So we're coming up with City Industries. So this would be, if we look at the map, we're coming in here to the Pomona siding. So that would be on this here. So we're coming right in here. So mile marker 5512.4. We'd say, hey, we're in West Pomona. Can you come deliver to mile marker 512.4? Kind of over by the Smurfit newsprint company. There's a crossing down here a little bit. I mean, they can meet us like right over here somewhere. We can jump out of the cab and go get it. Back of the train should be clear. Yep. We're in, so we'll come up to a full stop up here in a minute. We'll just keep creeping until we get closer to it, but the other train coming at us, it's not even going to be here before we come to a full stop. Otherwise, I like to just crawl towards it, and then that way when we get a clear, we just hit the gas and we're out. We'll have to go from a full stop, and then hopefully the cars compress a little bit. When we go, we'll push from the DPU side first. I have a blind corner up here anyways. This is what makes it Run 8. You can fly from one end of the map to the other, and it takes a long time. You cannot do this in the other train simulators, not to this extent. There's the train coming at us. I have my information up here so I can see what my train's doing. This is the one that's coming at us right now, this auto rack. And I'm slowing down, so like everything's gonna be A-okay. You can like meet us. Pizza guy can meet us in this parking lot right here, and we'll come get it. Or any of these businesses over here. So in the description of this video here, you click more, there's the Discord links for the Mateo community server, the one I'm currently on. Lazy Farmer, well, Farmer I wrote in the description, I call it the, TLFKFB NorCal server. I thought it was a cool name. I don't know how you would say that out loud, but, and then there's all the servers that we play on are all linked up in the Discord, as well as the depot servers Discord as well. In order to get on these multiple servers, not counting the depot public server, which is anybody can join at any time, if you want to become a Depot Plus member, you will have to go through an extensive railroading check ride to be able to join that one. No control. We have I have no control over that. I'm not an admin over there. I just am a member. But for the Lazy Farmers / KungfuBeer / Mateo community servers, there is a skills check that we provide over through the Mateo community Discord on SoCal. So you only have to have base game. You just want to make sure that you know the very basics of Run 8, so you don't crash the server and everybody has to go home and not have fun. It was about an hour to hour and a half. Some people I've done in about 20 minutes because they know exactly what they're doing. I don't know if it went through, Farmer. Go ahead now. Welcome. Yeah, that helped. They had K-Mike as well. So K-Mike has the level of sophistication now to be able to put links and things. All right, you can hear the... let me get on here. Okay. Okay, now we wait. Over here and do our business for a minute. Around and watch everything. Sure nobody jumps in the train, takes off. Or if Mr. White's hanging out one of the end cabs there, eating burritos. I haven't seen Mr. White today. Last couple times I didn't leave him any burritos, so you know. He doesn't want to come hang out. Okay, we got this one coming. Run over here and let's see if there's any burritos in here. I'm gonna hold the F11 key and click on the window. Didn't work. Try it again. Still didn't work. Ah. Normally works. All right, let's get out of the way. I can get in this one. Yep, so I can get in that one. Because they're Canadian? Okay, there we go. We got in here. Let's see. I don't see any burritos. Down in the bathroom. There's nothing in the shitter. Yep. Yeah, he didn't leave any burritos in here. He must not be here today. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and fence up. I'm isolating the MU now. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap her up. Notch 1, going to notch 2. Air is off. We don't need to go notch 2 because you can see it's already, we're already green, but we don't need to So we're already kind of pushed together. Now we're just waiting for Otto to allow us to go forward. Well, I'm going to again ask, let's see, we want to go here. I believe that's where we want to go. Let's ask. Because we did ask to come into this sighting. So he gave me acknowledgement. We got a clear. So let me go ahead and go forward. Bright's coming on. I'm going to give 2 notches. I wanted 2. Coming off on the independent brake. Belling off the brakes of the locomotives. You can see some yellow there. Bright yellow, and it's good. Ah, it just broke. We went too fast. Went too fast. Heavy train. All right, let's go back where we broke the train. See where we broke it at. Right. Didn't I see it already? Did it not break? Looks like it broke. Right here. Oh, the couplers. Oh, they didn't break. All right, let's fix that. Let's see. Come on. Close that, and then we won't have to listen to that. That's something you would do too? The FM's 45. It should start rolling. I don't got any air on. Now, of course, Otto's going to get all mad and be like, oh, I canceled your route. Yeah, I was, I went into notch 3. I was controlling that. I came off the independent too quick. There we go. It's moving. Yeah, I hear the cars still have air on the brakes. Yeah, let's see, notch 2. It was squished together, so I thought I had a little more time to get the notches squared away, but not so much. So hey, we'll bust a knuckle and we'll run down there and fix it. All right. Train didn't disappear, thank God. And we would literally just pump it up there. All right. If we don't have any problems, I'll just hit the emergency brake. We'll check everything. Thing looks good. Get back in the cab. So the handbrakes are on. I have to dispatch back to Otto again. All right, you guys are ready to receive? We're ready to get there if we can ever get there. This time I am going to start pushing from the rear end. Okay, we got a signal again. Watch this. So here's the brakes on top. I'm sorry, the couplers are on top, the brakes are on the bottom. All the purple is because I have the locomotive brakes engaged right now. So if I release the handbrakes, we'll probably rip it again. So I'm going to put 10 pounds on and wait for that to hit the rear of the train, which it is automatically because it says 80, because we have DPUs back there, so it's reading from the EOTD, end of train device. it's a compressor back there. So if I make a change, that locomotive instantly, or within a few seconds, makes that change. The cars in the middle have not received 80 pounds of air, or 10 pounds of air yet. All right, so I'm going to release the handbrakes. We'll look up here. We'll see the fact everything is good. I'm going to go ahead and notch up the 2 in the front end. Handbrakes are off. I'm going to release the brakes. Again, because the engine in the back, the 3 engines in the back are pushing on the empties there. I'm going to slowly come off of the locomotive brake. See if we can do this without braking it again. Be wonderful. Coming off slow. You hear the squeal from the brakes. That's on the locomotive side. Starting to get too much. Yeah, see. So sometimes this is going to be unrealistic because you have to literally relinquish the train when you have a problem like this. And that's what I thought about doing it, but I was like, yeah, we should be fine. Because it's just, it's not, sometimes when something happens in the sim, where's my, you gotta see, oh, we broke it towards the middle here. It's just because the cars were like bouncing around. We're up here somewhere, it broke right here. This time we actually broke a knuckle. You can see that's what a broken knuckle would look like. We'll fix that. This side's good. And let's go ahead and put back together. Then we'll relinquish it. We'll start fresh. Everything should be good. Kind of the dangers of, what happens when you stop unexpectedly. It is the way that it is, but you have to kind of be prepared for this in the sim. Gonna hit a little hard, but should be okay. All right, all the brakes are coming on. I missed it. I broke again somewhere in the back. Tore up, so now we have to find this. Well, that's not broke. That's not broke. On back some more. 7. Switch over to here so we can see what the train wants to do. Okay, F7. Take a look at the brakes. So we still have another brake over here. See, that's just too many brakes. Way too many. Bring it back here, connect it. We'll fix the train, relinquish it, and then get ready to go. And now we're going to brake in the very front because I got the locomotives pushing too much. Right there. All right. Now we got everybody back. I'm going to go ahead and relinquish the train, which you saw how it did that. We just grab this here. All right, now we're going to relinquish again. And then we'll go grab it back up at the front end. Now it should be, except for the middle, there's some stretching going on in the middle. I'm going to put the locomotive brakes on. God help me, I'm going to release the handbrakes. See what that does. Good. Settle the train out a little bit. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and auto everything again. And got as the train pulled forward and stopped after I auto braked it. Got a lot of pressure on the front end now. So, that means when we pull, we should be pulling away from this. Should go from green kind of back the other way to yellow. But we have to tell auto, again, what we want to do. So I think we're going to here. That was the one that we wanted to do. Coming through here. Let's see. I don't know how we're going to get over there. I'm looking for A on the map. There's a little A right here. Where does that come out? Oh, that comes out. That goes here, somewhere here. I need to go out this way. Right there. So, see what auto says. I think we started this early. Now let's see what he does. He's like, man, I keep giving you a chance. And yeah, you keep messing me up. So, now let's go slow. No handbrakes are on. I'm going to give it a bump from the back. Let's go up to notch 2 on the rear. You don't want to pull too hard, because we've been doing that. Lights full. I'm not even forward now because I relinquished the train. So here we go. All right, coming off slow. Let's see. Let's just go to notch 1. I think we're going downhill anyway, so I'm coming off on the independent brake slowly. I already have 135,000 pounds on the... You can see they're coming down now. Starting to roll slowly. All that pressure's coming through the cars right now. Now we're doing okay. Now we're kind of normalized. Bleed off the brakes on the locomotives. Again, we're pushing 2 in the rear and pulling 1 in the front. And that's what we want to do. Again, if you have these problems like I was having where you rip it apart, that's okay, but it's really important in order to clear, kind of relinquish your train, like get it all back together, relinquish it, and then go back and get it, you know, take command of it again. Because for some reason in this simulator, when you break couplers and then you start dealing with the pressures on the train and stuff, the physics get a little wonky sometimes. So I found that that's the best way to kind of start fresh, if you will, after you get everything back together. Now we're on our way. So he has us going up to the next signal. I was coming through here because I think we want to go this way. You know, this is where pretty sure that's where I want to end up going anyways. We are on the main. Even that siding was a main, so we're going to be 50. Let me get the thing. 50 miles an hour should be our track limit. 55. But that crossover coming out of that siding isn't going to be a problem because it's a 50 mile an hour crossing or siding, the switches. Hopefully, by the way, commercials are fixed now. You guys don't have like a bunch of commercials and stuff in there. All right, coming up quick. Let's slow her down here a little bit. I've got the fencing off. We'll go idle, and then we gotta kind of watch how the cars behave back here. I am ready to, if necessary, apply dynamic brakes. Supposed to wait a minute or so before from idle until you go into dynamic braking, because you're going to be sending voltage the opposite way in the traction motors, slow you down. We're coming up on 40, so I'm going to go ahead and go into dynamic setup. There's a notch forward, dynamic braking. So if you're on keyboard, you actually have to do the transition. I don't know what key it is, but you have to go into dynamic setup before you can actually operate your dynamic brakes. On the rail driver, it's easy, you just move the lever. I'm gonna put a little bit of dynamics on. We gotta watch our grade is a full percent down, so that's why we're speeding up so much. Yeah, well, we can control our descent here. We're at 50 on the dot. Necessary, you apply some train brake, about 10 pounds of train brake, but that's really going to slow you down when it levels out. So I try not to do that if I don't need to. If I was coming down the Cajon Pass, I would definitely be using air on the cars. Looking up there where it's green, as long as it doesn't go purple and blue and black, or blue and then black, it'd be okay. I'm now starting to slow down at the 50 mile an hour mark. Track speed's 55, so I'm 500, but want to have a little bit of maneuvering room here. Coming off the dynamics a little bit, take some of the pressure off of the locomotives here from the cars pushing on them. Kind of see how the darker green is fading into a lighter green. That's less pressure on the front locomotives. These are my my lead power units here. So this is the one I'm in now, and then you have the next ones. The white just signifies there's no braking pressure on. And then these are the 3 DPUs in the rear. And this is my entire train. The top one being the coupler pressure. Right now is 115,000 pounds of pressure, mostly in here. And then the bottom line here is your brake pressure. So if I apply train brake, that would go from white up to yellow and the red, depending on how much braking how many PSIs I'm putting down. Brakes are released at 90 PSI. So the brake pipe here, if I have 90, that means the brakes are released. As I have less, as I decrease pressure of the brake pipe, that puts more pressure from the reserves of each car onto the brakes. Basically, each car has its own reservoir. It uses air to push the brakes onto the wheels. It responds to the brake pipe. So you have air that takes it off and then air that puts them on. All air. There's like no springs. Other than I think, yeah, it's all air. I'm just maintaining my speed right now. I'm at 51. Take a look at our map. We have a few signals ahead. Clear signal ahead. Slowing down just a little bit. You can see by the mile per minute I'm at negative 2 miles an hour average. That's okay. That means we'll slow down about 45, and then I'll release a little dynamic braking here right now. It'll go up a bit. Cars will kind of jiggle around. Of course, as we turn on the rails, you get some resistance from the metal on metal, and that helps with some speed. Helps. The weight does not help. The weight actually makes it more difficult. I'm speeding up again, so we'll apply a little more dynamic. Bringing her down a little bit. Crossing coming up. Went off the dynamics a little bit. Looking out for whistle boards and sorts of other fun stuff on the signage, speed limit signs. Coming off dynamic brakes a little bit without coming off too hard. I think that might have been a little fast. When it comes to our, we can manipulate each one of these computer screens independently. Shows my brakes, all the engine information. There's this locomotive monitor. Normally you would run one screen with this basic one here. Tells you the bells and all that. And the other one, since I have DPUs, I have my DPU monitor on so I can control them. Slowing down a little bit, so I'll come off the dynamics slightly. Track speed 55, we're doing just under 50. That's good. Coming into the City of Industry straight ahead, about 2 miles, it'll be on the left. Here's what we're dealing with for those who came in a little bit ago. UP 5405, we got a couple Canadian National in the MU section throwing the leads here. We do have one in the rear as well with some SP-9s. Over back there. Actually catch up so we can see what we got here. That's the rear of the train. Approaching our maximum track speed of 55. We're at 53, so we'll add some more dynamics. Bring her down just slowly. You can see up here it's starting to get darker green, which means there's more pressure being put from the cars onto the power. Take a look at our grade. Grade is 0.4, so some of the train is coming downhill still. So the grade I'm on right here, it's 0.4%. with negative 4% or negative 0.4%. Starting to level out now. But because get the train stats up, we're 13,500 tons with, we have 122 cars, not counting the 8 locomotives, 5 in the front, 3 in the back. That's it's decently heavy train. Only 7,700 feet long. Mile and a half. Let's see. Some stuff up here. Oh, that's the curve. All right, so we're going to be passing the Los Angeles, the East LA Intermodal Yard. BNSF Intermodal Yard's right next to it on the other side. So coming into Los Angeles around this corner, we should start seeing LA. I'm sorry, this is City Industry. We're not there yet. Got too much dynamic on. Yeah, this is CI. This is the intermodal yard for CI. Yeah, City Industry. And we're gonna go down here. This is the LATC yard. That's the one I was thinking of. Quite a few miles away from it still. So yeah, this little yard over here, this is like an overflow yard that when I was working this yard, I used to use. I did the vehicles, and the intermodal trains are back here. We did our own like auto yard kind of thing where we can process auto yards from West Colton. You see all the graffiti, like that's, you know, there's my name right there. Some of these cars I put graffiti on as a test and it works. But the enhancement discord is down below. Actually, this is CI. This is not the overflow yard. It's the actual CI yard. But enhancement discord has a lot of these paints that I mean, there's so many of them that will, you know, you can't, if you got them all, you would overwrite, you know, many of the same cars with them, so you'd want to pick which one you like and then put that on there. I do like how they do the green I-beams on there on the overpasses, because that's how it really is in the older sections. They haven't updated those. They used to paint them green. I don't know if it's anti-rust or, you know, some sort of, but they're green. I mean, growing up down Orange County, they're always green. Take a look at our, so on this board here, so F3 changes all the different DLCs that you have installed. This is the one of the Barstow ones, and this is the main one that you have in the game, not counting Barstow. So it is a little strange kind of looking at it if you're not familiar that all these lights, or these are the actual control points. So all those are absolute signals. If you look at the depotserver.com and you go to the map section, they'll show you the intermediate signals as well as the control points. So when you look here, this is because auto is the dispatcher. It sounds like auto is an automatic, and it kind of means that, but auto, OTTO, is the automated dispatcher. And they will set these signals to let the AI trains go through, and as well as player trains. But they are all the actual absolute signals. There's no intermediate signals on these maps. So when you're looking to go from place to place, you want to try to click on it again. How to use auto is the one you'd want to see. F3 will cycle you through, and we are currently in right past this one in the San Bernardino sub. I hit tab because this is a larger map, so this is all the same DLC, and tab will cycle me through them. We're right here, starting to get speedy. I got a crossing coming up. But they basically, since UP runs north-south, on the right side of the map would be south, and on the left side is north. So if we look here, I'm going this way. As my train is red, I'm cleared up through the green. You can see that means I'm clear for these blocks. And that's the signal I have a red. So if it used to be you can hover over them. Yeah, kind of working. See, that's me, UP 5405. My length in HPT. And we're cleared all the way up to the signal. That's why it's green. Even though the signal shows yellow, it's actually clear when you look at it here, because yellow means after I pass it, it's going to fleet back to red. If you play on Depot Plus, they don't use auto. You control the signals, but they're always green unless a train passes through and they're in that block, then it'll turn red. So if you want to come out of a siding, you have to control it. You got to look, and which is why they do the skills check or the check ride there. They want to make sure that when you go out there, you're not going to cut off AI trains and cause a mess. They want to make sure you know what you're doing before you join them. We use auto on all the other servers because we like AI to go through as eye candy through the maps. If you're driving trains in the server to one of the yards that happen to be in the server, LATC, CI, the Malabar yard, LAJ, this is BNSF here, LMC. If you're going to those yards from Barstow, then you're going to be driving those trains. You're not going to be letting auto can't get into those yards. Auto is for routing trains through the map, not into the yards. But auto will route you into Barstow or West Colton for the receiving yards. Got too much dynamic on, so I actually slowed down there. You can teleport. So if you click and you put your mouse over one of these blocks and you hit the space bar, you will teleport. I'm driving the train, so I don't want to do that. Probably not a good idea. Plus the train then has to load and can have problems and all that. But yeah, you just put your mouse over any of the blocks and hit space bar and you'll teleport there. Teleport to any square. Well, this is going to get a little tricky up here for me as far as I want to come out. I believe here, I said I want to go there, so I think auto is going to get me there. That's the way up to kind of outside of like out towards Palmdale, up through the mountains, going up north. But I don't normally run this, so we'll figure out if that's where I'm going. Not, again, this train's already sitting up there to pick up and pulling the spark, so. But we can't easily transition between the two, so we had to fake it. Fake it till you make it. All right, so I'll the notch up here a little bit. Let's get back up to speed. Take a look up here, see what we got ahead of us. Green's coming up. Yeah, we're going over. Oh, there's a crossing. All right. Pretty far away. When one sees why the graphics are lower quality here, this is why, because you can literally fly from one side to the other of California. You fly from here, from Los Angeles, all the way to Seligman, Arizona. And follow the tracks. You can drive there too. The fact that you can fly there, you don't have to teleport there, why the graphics quality is a little bit lower. I'm going up or something. Let's see. Oh, level grade. At least where the engines are. If it wasn't for all the brake problems that, or the coupler problems we had earlier, then we'd be a lot further than we are now. But all right, I think it was like 10 minutes, about 10 minutes to clear that up. And a lot of people have that happen to them, so we were able to demonstrate here how to get around that, how to fix it and just move on. It does happen, especially. I mean, in my case, is because I let off the independent brake a little too quickly. I think it was only a notch 2. It's happened to me before. Like I'll go to hit on the rail driver, go to hit the horn or something, and I flick the parking brake for all the cars, and the train instantly comes to a stop. Well, then you're kind of in a pickle. That's where it's happened to me a lot. Then you got to try to figure out how to get out there. Just relinquish, and then grab it again. You make a mistake like that, it seems to solve a lot more problems, and then just go slow from there. Railroading, nothing happens fast here. Literally say all the time, could take a couple minutes, and everything. Yeah, you got to add an hour for everything to do. You worked with Hoghead, and his nickname was Knuckles. Break them all the time. Mr. Griffin, hello. Yeah, the knuckles are the couplers. Let's see. Go over a lake or something. Got a green light there. That's always good. Far are we away from that? Go to heads up. So 40 miles an hour. A lot of that space there. This is a supply train going up to Roseville, by the way. They need these supplies up there. Drop them up at Sparks, and I saw some videos on YouTube the other day for, so again, in the Mateo community, I'm the yard master for the San Bernardino DLC, or yeah, the San Bernardino sub for BNSF. So I saw a whole bunch of videos where they're driving through the streets and doing all the locals that we do here in Run 8 that you see weekly that I do. And, you know, there's no crossings. There's just the lights and stuff here, but no actual crossing gates or anything. So I'll share a couple of those. I shared them in the Mateo server under some of the jobs that I have posted in the Discord from the locals. But yeah, I should share them in here, and they're pretty cool that you can just see the like Santa Fe branded locomotives moving stuff around on the streets of LA. Really neat. Yeah, blowing the horn with the multi-monitor. Like that. See the train coming. Yeah, you just scrape it like you go to hit the thing and you drag your pinky up and push up on the parking brake. That's what does it. You're like, oh no! You see it. Keep going small. All right, so we have a light coming up. Come down to notch 3 there. I saw an approach signal coming up. I don't know why it's auto stopping me where it is, but again, I'm trying to figure out how to get where I need to go. Now you're going to have a lot of work to do, Mike. You got this one coming up, and this heads out to Roseville after it drops off at Sparks. The one that Farmer's sending you. And this one doesn't have, see all these Sparks cars here, all these wrapped. There's some RV ones. You're like, yes, give me more. You see the train slowing down now. It's because it's probably, yeah, it's 1.2 climbing. I didn't realize that. The notch 5 on the locomotive. Kind of see that right here. You got your air pressure going through, your brake pipe pressure here. Speed, we're down to 19. More. BNSF. Let's take a look where we're going. We got the signal coming up. Might not be able to get where we're going through here. I thought we could. Let's see. B goes up here, so we should be coming down this way into here. What I'm thinking. So as I pass, I don't think these signals are it. Why, if I ask now, tell me next control point. We have a reduction of 50 and 1.6 miles. Kind of already going slow though. Yep, call me at the next control point. We need help on the NorCal. The thing with NorCal that I've noticed is that we need help in the yards, but then the trains are basically just going up over the mountain to the other side or beyond, right? But yeah, the yards are these are intermediate signals here. Yards get some work. The hump yard in Roseville and then the local down in Sparks. So it's got a yard on either side of the map with a big ass mountain called the Donner Pass in the middle. Going from Roseville, California to Reno, Nevada. We don't pass Tahoe through there, do we? We'd have to. I don't remember seeing the lake from driving. Yards and locals. Well, it took me two and a half hour streams to get from one side to the other. Donner Lake, oh, not Tahoe. Too steep for probably that. Not for a bite, yeah. Oh, Tahoe is south. I didn't see a whistle board. Pretty drive though from Reno into Northern California. You go through whatever highway that is that goes by Lake Tahoe. Okay, we're coming up on the control point, and I think after that we need to ask. We want to go up through here, like this, and then come down through here, over this way. What I think we want. Having never done it though. Still faster than going up through the Cajon Pass and out through Mojave through the 25-mile-per-hour speed limited Hatchby Pass, where there's a derailment last week. In real life. There's our speed limit board right there. It is 50 starting right now. We're at 32.5, so we're under the speed limit. Highway 50, 80. 80 follows the UP and the Southern Pacific, Canadian Pacific. What's the Ponderosa? The casino? Intermediate signal right ahead of us is no factor. Intermediate signals here get the instructions. Well, it has a grade symbol on it too, besides the mile marker, but you see the grade symbol. That's how you know the intermediate or not. Control points don't have either one of those, and they usually have tracks that switch right around them. They don't always, but they could. Real ranch. Cattle ranch? Let's see, what is the grade? We're even grade. At least right now we are. I don't know what the cars behind me are doing. We're pulling from the front, pushing from the rear, so. Oh, the Ponderosa ain't there no more. Farmer has got to give everybody the bad news all the time. One of your talking points is missing because they ripped it down or burned it to the ground. That was when I went to Guam. Everybody said, hey, go to this club or go to that club because you really like it. And they're like, oh yeah, it blew down the tornado. Or, you know, whatever they call it over, typhoon. Typhoon blew it down like 2 years ago and they're still rebuilding it. Yeah, it cooled off from 106 to 102 now. 102.9. It's like a FM station here. All right, here's our. Oh, we got a green. All right, where is he route? Oh, so he's routing me where I want to go. Look at that. Boom. B. B should come out here. I think that's what we want. I don't know. We always delete the train if it don't get where we want, but that's CP Yuma. We'll see where it takes us. 2.9 is, oh, that's intermediate as well. Beer radio. Yeah, there's one that we just found out the other day. It was like, I don't know, KIE, something KQIE or for Inland Empire. And my wife found it as we were driving and, oh, you know, and they had R&B on or whatever. And then later I was going somewhere, just me, and on the radio was like oldies. And I was like, well, that's weird. So they changed formats through the day. That's pretty cool. All the music I like falls under the oldies section anyways, whether it's, you know, grunge or heavy or whatever, 80s, 90s, 70s. Big fan of modern music, very much I like. I think we got to go through the mountain here and then we'll be in LA. Where are we at in the map? So we're going, yep, so we are coming through here. We're going up this way through the Alhambra and down here, EP Dayton onto, this is the end of track. And then we'll get into NorCal. Didn't think it would take this long, but we don't have very far to go once we get there. I just powered down here, came off of, I was in notch 3 or something, went down to notch 1. We are still speeding up, but we're under 50, so that's good. Back into notch 2 to keep our speed going. Take some of the pressure off the knuckles behind me, all the knuckleheads. There's some industry work up here in LA. Again, this is part of the San Bernardino sub that I'm on currently. Get down here. I'll look at signal rules. So I got yellow over green on UP, not flashing, and approach clear 50. Green was flashing, but an approach clear is 60. Approach clear 50. Proceed. Green exceeding 50, slow down. And then I should be expecting an approach pretty soon. For those that don't know, the signals, they're telling you that you can go now, but they're telling you what the next one's going to be. Just kind of like traffic signals in your car. So when you see a yellow, that means you need to slow down because it's going to turn red, or in the train's case, the next, so if it's flashing yellow, then that means, the next one's going to be yellow. More than likely. Or it isn't currently when it's flashing you. And then when you get to the solid yellow, it means, hey, that next one is going to be red. So you're going to want to slow down to be prepared to stop at the red. So green means you can go as far as the eye can see, and then it starts changing colors to start slowing you down. That information again is at the depotserver.com on their main page. If you click on download, you can get the signal rules for all the Class A railroads to see what each one of their signals mean and what the corresponding reactions are to what they should be. They're based on the FAR, the Federal Railroad, Agency Association, the FRA, what their rules are for Class A railroads. So there are a little bit difference between each of the main railroads, but they all, for the most part, mean the same thing. And then the maps that I'm using on a different screen, I've showed you a few times, like right here. These are on the depotserver.com, as well under the map section and pertaining to the DLC that you are in. I'm currently speeding. We're going downhill. I got to get her slowed down here. Should be doing 20 miles an hour. Instead, I'm at 55. I'm going to apply air to the cars. Get down to 15 pounds. Let's slow her down because we have an advanced approach. We are coming in way too hot. Mouse is on the other screen, so it's not working. There we go. Take a little pressure off the front of the train. Put some more, put 70 pounds on, and we'll drop it once we get a lot closer in speed to what we need. I don't want to kill my speed, so once I get right around 20, I'll drop the brakes. You see up there it's turning black on the front of the engine, so got all this weight behind us. There we go. We broke because we took the air off too much. So we got to do this again. Broke some more knuckles. Let's see what we did. Just think that's supposed to do that. I just don't think it's supposed to do it like that. We had some air on, but yeah. That seems to be a little extreme from what should have happened. Now my routing's gonna be canceled. Otto's all mad about it. You see even though there's only a couple cars on here, everybody's going black up here, just pushing them back. Be like real careful once you break them, which we've already experienced earlier. What I'm trying to do is get this train into the next DLC. And I mean, I broke a knuckle, but I didn't actually break it. Okay, so we have the whole train. Go ahead and put the handbrakes on. Going to relinquish it again. We'll pick it back up. Handbrakes off. See what happens. All the air should be good. I'm going to hit F7 to do everything. And then I need to go back to auto and say, hey, I was going here until I screwed up, so please let me go back there. You will. I'm going to go on notch 1. I'm not going to fence the DPU. A little bit of pressure leaning against me now already, and I have the brakes on, so they independent, so I'm not sure why all the pressure is coming from the front end. I'll let off a little bit. Let's see what happens with the cars as they come off the independent brake. Slowly. Here we go. You can see it going from almost dark blue to back to green. Rolling a little bit. Now this is the part that we got to watch. We don't pull too hard on the other cars. Nice and slow to get us out of this problem. Pulling somewhat in the middle a little bit. Bleed off the locomotives. Don't think I asked auto yet. Let's do that now. While we watch the middle of the train. Yeah, I want that signal back that I had before. I want to go here. So he gave me that. Proceed on signal indication. And so now my DPU is also out of radio frequency range or radio range, so that's kind of angry. A lot to pick apart here. I have a diverging approach. $30 miles an hour is when I'm instructed to not go more than. So I'm gonna put some dynamics on just to control my, I guess, descent. But you see, relinquishing that time, once I put the train back together, the relinquishing of it actually made things so much easier because all I did was just start pulling forward. Just kind of the process. We have a approach here. Again, 30 miles an hour is what it wants us. I got a lot of pressure against the locomotives here. Under 30 miles an hour, so I'm gonna put on my bell now. You see the crossings ahead of me. My mouse is on the other screen, so I couldn't turn off the bell. Trying to maintain speed while also watching these couplers up here because they're starting to get bright green, you know, and we don't want it to be blue and then black, which means broken, as we've already experienced a couple times tonight. We have a bunch up in the middle of the train, so it's good on the back and it's good on the front, but kind of bunching up there in the middle. We need to stretch it out, but we also don't want to go too much speeding, so I'll give it a 1 notch now. We're starting to slow down. That should pull from the front end and kind of just pull that out a little bit. See the Color's starting to fade a little bit. There you go, the green's almost gone. Gotta clear up here. Take a look and see. So we're cleared out through the Dayton control point, out to the end of track. Once we get there, we'll delete it. Move on to Northern California, where we would simulate that rest of that trip up there. Almost there. I want to get there without pulling this thing apart again. Take a look here. What's our grade? So now we're going uphill. We do want to do it without ripping this thing off the front end. Steady and slow. Notch 4. Let's watch the that doesn't get too bright. I will have a stop up here shortly as well, because I drive it off the map, the server could crash, so I want to make sure I don't personally drive it off the map. I want to be in control of it when it goes off the map. That's a no bueno situation. AI can drive it off the map, just disappears. Out there, sitting out there, that's gonna get graffitied. Sitting out in the middle of nowhere. Yes, you can. You have the ability to do so, and that's what we're doing. We're going to simulate, because the end of the train, the end of the tracks end here, and we want to drive up Northern California with this very train. Now the unit numbers will be different, obviously, in most cases. I mean, it's already different. So this train, I'd spawned in West Colton, but I put it in the receiving yard. I was like, oh no, I want to go and do the loop and do it properly. So I put it in the other yard, and it changed from the screenshot 5405. So I took a new screenshot before I left, and I may update it, but it won't be the same where we're going, and that's okay. Now when you save it though, so under your train, like the Run 8 Studios and then V3, so you have to go to the correct sub. So you could also use the let me get there first on this other screen. So the external consist editor. So I used that to put the cars in the right order, you know, because they were empties and stuff all scattered throughout, because it was a randomly spawned train for the industries up there. So I got it from up there from Farmer, and then I put it in the SoCal under V3 content. Then you go V3 routes, and then you go to the right region. So Southern California is where I put it under trains, but it's also under Northern California trains. So that way you can spawn at both places. But with the ECE, you can, you know, have it up and then save it as and put it in the other directory as well. Yeah, I don't know if they're working on it or not, but maybe. So I'm going to bring the train to a stop here, because we are getting closer to the end of the line for us. I'm just going to let off, and we're going to come to a nice slow stop, not like we just did a minute ago when we had to stop because we were speeding. See it bunching up there in the middle. And then I'm going to put 10 on. £10 on. It's going to break, or it looks like it's going to break. Got blue real quick, and all I did was put 10 pounds on. I don't know why it's... doesn't make a lot of sense. Why it's... stopped quick. It was just 10 pounds. All right, so now we're going to AI recruit this guy. And R like a pirate. So we're on the multiplayer server. We don't want to leave the train on the main line. We're going to AI it. And the AI has it. The bright lights are on. They're going to get permission to go. They're literally going to go out this way. And the end of track is right here. So it's going to drive off the track. It's going to disappear, and that's done. So meanwhile, see. Now, in order for me to get to Northern California from here, I need to shut off the game because it literally won't let me join from here. So I'm going to do that real quick, and we'll be back in just a second. I'll still talk to you while I do that. So I'm going to do a save here just of the world that I'm at. We can actually see that. I'm going to do a save of the world. And I'll just call it Mateo, Los Angeles. Just so I have a copy where this is in case there's some sort of problem or if I need to get again. I do have this train saved itself, but yeah. Then I'm going to go to a network menu. You can see who's on here. I'll actually bail out. And then that means everything disappears. And then leave the game. Have to relaunch the game. You'll hear it come back on in a second. We are back here. We're going to join Northern California. Hopefully it remembers I got this thing where it, I have to put in the password every time. We'll see if it lets me in there. I'm joining single player now anyways. We are loading Roseville. There's our train from single player, but let's go into the network. Let's join server, which is the NorCal server. All right, so let me in there. So I have the train now. This one is 5409. The last one was what, 5445 or something? So we're close enough. And the brights are already on because I'm in here. Oh, there's a train. Okay, so let's we want to go to Sparks Yard. So we've already stopped that guy from leaving. So we'll need to pull in here, but I don't know if we can get around him because we're 7,700 feet. Oh, 5405, so only off by a couple numbers. But we want to get into the Sparks Yard. So we're going to go like this. If auto's on. So I'm going to have to delete this guy because we can't get around him. He's going off map anyways. So we'll delete that. And then let's ask Auto. Let's see if we already asked if we can go. We want to go into the main yard. Does it let me? It does. If I click the main yard there. So let's say we'll approach it once we get there. Disassemble. Well, I mean, we couldn't do anything because we couldn't get around him. The auto should have stopped him at a different signal, not the one where we can't get around because we're 7,700 feet. All right, I'm in notch one. I'm waiting for the rear to answer a little bit better. I put in the brakes. I'm gonna take off the handbrakes. I still have the other brakes on, so the train remembers what I wanted before. The rear is coming up right now, which is the DPU. So let's come slowly off of the independent brake. Yeah, I got some valve stuck or something. Slowly, let's keep an eye on that. Brakes are going to be on. We're pulling against brakes. Just nice and slow. DPU is not going to respond right now. Kind of in the mountains. So here we go. We got signal back. So we see that the compressors are trying to pump up the center of the train, so the brakes are going to be on. Let's just come off real slow. We're at 200,000 pounds. Nice and slow, still coming off the brakes. Rear DPUs are still have brakes on. I just bled them. See if it responds and they come off. Good. Go outside the thing here and let's make sure that we have our thing set. I don't know what this is going to do, but the train's going the wrong way. Oops. Okay, let me turn this. So that's because I'm in neutral now. All right, handbrake. Now let's start again because it went in neutral even though I was pulling forward. Let's start all over again. Handbrakes. One thing when you go from one to another. All right, so notch one on both front and rear. There, it's answering. Again, now we'll start coming off. Coming off on the independent brake. Probably gonna break a knuckle here. Okay, Mike, how long is the can the yard accept? Accept 7,500 foot train? Notch 2 so far looks good. Slowly pulling it. DOT movement coming off on the brakes, bleeding the brakes. Check to make sure auto has not routed us where we wanted to go. We'll get past this first one and then we'll ask again. $6,600. All right, if you want to route me in the yard, get me ready coming in, then I can I'll pull what I can through and then break it up and then back in the rest. Need about 1,000 feet or something. All right, no knuckle broken. So if those of you in the pool, the money now goes to me. I know Lazy dropped a Dropped a Franklin down on that one, so I'm $100 richer on that. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Okay, Mike. Okay, now I'm in the block. I'm going to tell Auto, hey, let me go where I want to go. So I'm going to phone him. I'm going to cancel. Hold at Hatfed. All right, so let's look here. Well, I'm here at Hatfed. You're telling me to hold here. What do you mean those tracks are full? What are you talking about? Just trying to get me to break the couplers. Yeah, who needs trolls, right? All right, so you tell me to hold here. Sparks Yardmaster, UP5009 on the northbound, looking for a ride into Reno. Correction, into Sparks. I was 7,700. I'm getting a negative, holding at Halford. Oh, they're clear now? So come or what? We got Cowboys coming on. We don't got time for these games, sir. Oh, just give me notch one, rail driver. Don't you start with me, too. That rail driver's all over the place. Like, oh, you really want to have fun? Let's break some couplers so that the farmer gets his money back. Oh, did you, Cowgirls can wait? I don't know. They might need my support, otherwise they may not win. Okay, so I am proceeding then. Line and lock. Track 1. This is the beauty of multiplayer, guys. You don't have to go out and do it all. As long as people are on there, you let them know your intentions, what you're going to do, and they will line you up if possible. And it's almost like real railroad. It's great. Doesn't always have to be with another person in the same vehicle, but having the ability to not only play with other people live, but having people that can get you ready when they know that you're coming is another benefit. So again, in the description below, everything. The Lazy Farm is saying welcome to NorCal server. Everybody has the ability to work with each other. We have a whole bunch of discords because of the way that the password bots work, the random password generator. So all that information is down below. Make sure that you go take a look if you're interested in playing multiplayer with us. Again, we'll have to do you have to pass a basic skills check for Run 8. I have a whole bunch of videos in my channel, not in the live section, but in the regular section under the Run 8 stuff that will help you get through the basic check rides. There's a bunch of scenarios, Yardmasters from the Mateo community, so we utilize all the Yardmasters Mateo community to try to find a time that works best for you to get this check ride done so you can join Mateo and all the other servers, minus the Depot Plus. That's separate. But all the other ones in the description are servers that all of us collaboratively, is that a word, run. And we'd love to have you come help out and learn with us as we are constantly learning. You saw I broke a bunch of knuckles tonight. No big deal, no bubbles, no troubles. We just fix it and move along. We're about the fun, not about the, oh my God, now we got to go piss test and do all that stuff. We're not into we're into the trying to be as close as possible to the real thing without stressing over it. So you make mistakes, this is where you want to make them. You want to be a real engineer? Please. This can hopefully help you get there. Just like if you want to be a real pilot, Microsoft Flight Simulator is a great tool to get you to that point where you might be able to become a real commercial pilot someday. Or a real commercial drone operator. Because they have to go through the 107 and they got to go through basically ground school to be a pilot just to fly a robot, which is you know, cool. Just takes a lot of time. You got to go FAA and all that stuff. Yeah, so if you pass the check ride at NorCal, oh, if you pass a past check ride on NorCal. So who's doing check rides in NorCal? I'm not. I do them on Mateo because a lot of people may not have NorCal. So we have this scenario on the Mateo, but if Lazy wants to, or K Mike wants to do a check ride here, that's up to them. I always suggest going to the Mateo because there's a lot more people available to you that can fit into your schedule, perhaps. And it's the same check ride. That's the benefit of owning a server. You can, you know, he wants to give you a check ride not on Mateo, then that's fine too. Whatever is comfortable. Working our way towards the signal up here. Yeah, I mean, Mike, if you want to do it as well, feel free. I know you guys don't have access to Mateo. That's fine. If you want to do it on these servers, by all means. I mean, as long as the people who are coming on these servers have the basic knowledge that we all need to operate this, not a problem for me. All right, should be coming in. We have a signal here. Gonna ask. Oh, not relinquish. That would be wrong. I'm gonna request a signal into there. I got an okay, and of course, look, he's gonna route me right past it. So I'm gonna get past this signal, and I'm gonna ask again. I'm actually gonna move that signal, and we'll do a restricting or something. I just need to get past this first one. Pittsburgh will be online soon, so we'll have all the servers covered here between all these different discords that we have. That's the hardest part of maneuvering the discords. We are just here to have fun and not have too much work to do ourselves. 5:15, join live. Dallas Cowboys at Pittsburgh Steelers hasn't started yet, so about 5:20 or something. It's 5:23 or 5:25, I think. Oh, kickoff's delayed due to weather. Look at that. You guys are so lucky. There's weather in Pittsburgh, therefore I get to finish what I'm doing. Even better. No, my tag is WC2RV because the train is going to end up in RV with a stop at SP. That's why I did it that way, but I do see what you're talking about there. It's supposed to go all the way to River, but it had to go around due to the derailment in Tehachapi Pass, so it's still the ultimate trip is to Roseville, but since the Sparks yard is en route, then we'll stop and dump off some metal there and reassemble it for Roseville, if that makes sense to you. That's how I thought of it when I conceived of it. All right, am I past that signal yet? I am. So I will go ahead and cancel because he's not listening to me. Cancel my routing. This is all part of that auto thing that I was telling you guys about. So we'll go ahead and switch this after it goes red. Switch this after it goes red, and we're going to go down into here.
UP detector milepost 249.9.
Notch on. Tracks are lined in the Davis. What? See. Okay, so we're here. We're going to give ourselves that restricting there. And that'll get us right into the main yard at Sparks. Yeah, this is going to go into into the Sparks yard first. Hey, Mike is going to strip off the Sparks cars and reassemble the train as necessary for Roseville. At that point, you could rename it, but there's no point because Otto doesn't care where it's coming from. But even though it was named West Colton to Roseville, I told Otto I want to go specifically to this block. But regardless of the name, Otto should have said, okay. And instead he said, no, I don't want to engineer because, you know, it's what I want. It's what I want you. So I said, fine. Cowboys have a weather delay, so I'll take my time and take it there myself. Oh, it's lightning. We got lightning at the Steelers game. Now, I know I have it restricting at 15, but since Otto wasn't cooperating, we'll go in there as if we had a clear. And I still didn't bust a knuckle, by the way, bud. You still only lost $100 though, farmers, so don't worry about having to double it. I'm not greedy. I'll take the 100 and whatever else the pool filled up as. I'm sure it was a couple $100 that everybody thought I was going to bust a knuckle, as I already had a few times. And so you can just PayPal that to me, or if you want to do Amazon gift card, that's fine. KungfuBeer@gmail.com. Wild West Rob, man, how you been? It's been a while. Doing good. We're up. We started in the Mateo community in SoCal, and now we're in the NorCal on Roseville with the same train, technically. This guy right here. $7,700 feet of steel. Got our approach restricting coming up. I believe that's what they call it on UP. We'll verify that. EpoServer.com under downloads. It's the signal rules, and yeller over white is an approach restricting. So we can continue, but pass the next signal at 15 miles an hour. You want me to use my flight yoke to drive the train? That seems a little excess. I mean, a little excessive. I mean, I got actually dual engines because I fly a 737 mostly. I got 2 engine, power levers. I don't know. It does have 4. My flight yoke has 4 engines, but I use one for flaps and the other I use for the air brakes. And the reverse thrusters. When I push them all the way forward, the reverse thrusters come on. It's pretty cool. Turtle Beach. I do not have pedals. I currently use the buttons on the yoke or the triggers on the yoke for steering, for rudder or wheel. Sorry, nose steering. I should get some pedals. I don't fly enough right now to want to pay $200 for some pedals. For brakes. Oh, that's what they are. The triggers are brakes.
UP detector milepost 249.9. No defects.
I didn't think so.
Defects.
No
Total
defects.
Axles 536.
We already changed out like 8 knuckles, so there shouldn't be any defects in the knuckles.
Ambient temperature 63 degrees. UP detector out.
Of course, we have no more knuckles. We stole all the Canadian knuckles because they had them all. We had them all stored in the Canadian National Power. We ran out. Rob, down below in the description, I know you play on Mateo. I don't know when the last time he was. We'd have to look. They do have metric knuckles, by the way. I've seen you in Mateo. Been a while since I've seen you in there, so make sure that you're current on there. We use the same password bot, so it does time out after, what, 30 days or 60 days. So it will restrict your account until you refresh your password, and it will actually disable you after another 30 days, I believe. Part of the password management system of that bot. We'll make sure you log on. You don't have to play for very long. Just log on once a month, and you should be fine. But the description below has... myself and the Lazy Farmer own the NorCal server. I host it here, and he manages it through the Discord. And he also has a Moselle server. Obviously, you know about the East Coast, Southeast Coast server through Garrison, through the Mateo community. So the NorCal server description is below on the Discord. You just need to join that. Say, hey, I'm on Mateo. We'll look you up, make sure that you're current. For anybody else, right? Anybody that we don't know, make sure that you're a current active player on any of these servers, that you have passed a check right already, or a skills check on the Mateo community, or one of us have given it to you on a different server, and then we will activate you on any of these 4 servers, whether it's Mateo, the NorCal, the Southeast, or the Moselle servers. You have access, and then soon to be a Pennsylvania server. So we'll have all 5 servers available to you. You just have to make sure that you prove to somebody that is in the decision-making process that you have done a skills check, that you're not going to crash the server when you come in. We're going to have a restricting coming up here, and it looks like my switch is aligned. Just make sure, hit F3. We are here going into the yard, the main yard, and Mike already has me lined up to where I need to go. I believe I'm going to pull through. I'm going to cut some cars, and then I'm going to push, get rid of the extra ones that I have. So we're in restricting mode, so we can stop in half the distance that we can view at 15 miles an hour right now is our maximum speed. Somehow, I had a hiccup there. Somehow we are doing what we're supposed to do. Go up 1 notch here. Let's just keep it around 15 as we pull in. 15, 16 will be good. And then from time to time, we will probably do this where we pull a train from here and then put it in the Mateo, or, take a train from here and simulate driving all the way across the U.S. and dump it on the Southeast or Moselle and have it, kind of, because they're not connected. So the only way we can do that is take a train from here that we've prepared, put it over there to finish the rest of that route. There's a lot of logistics in doing that, though, so may not be something that happens a lot, because you want the locals from the other servers, on here, and you say, oh, okay, it has to have all the right naming and everything in that car, so that when you get there, you can actually process it. Started about 15 minutes early, and we went, we're so far 35 minutes over, but again, not a problem. My game has not started yet, so I think we're gonna get this done before kickoff. It's great. Might be a 3-hour stream. One of the few that you'll have from me. All sweaty and slimy now from 99 degrees right now, so it came down from 106 earlier. 99.1 KGGI is the radio station. We're about a mile or so away. Looking for the next switch. I think that's up there. I see a red up there. I think am I pulling off before that? I think so. Let's look at the map here. Yep, we're already in this. Thought I had given myself. Oh, I didn't have a restricting there, but I'm going to do it now. See, the line here on the ground simulates the ground, and that's us coming towards it standing up. So that means that now it's flashing. I thought it was a lot shorter than it was, so let's go ahead and, even though we're in a restricting, we can get up a little bit faster. Still got a lot of work to do. I'm not going to come flying here at 50 though. The auto would not wrap me in here where I wanted to go. Otherwise, that would have been nice because I would have had clear signals instead of, and I didn't want to turn auto off to get in here. We'll do like 20. We'll stay under 25. I should have looked when I was in the CN locomotive earlier to see if it had kilometers instead of miles per hour. Like 120. Aaron Rodgers had 3 interceptions today. 6th time ever. See the light at the end of the tunnel up here. A great day to showcase the fixability of Run 8 or flexibility. Fix or flex? Beauty of the sandbox is it's all on the people who run it, on how to figure out how they want to use it. So developers did a great job there. Let us determine how we want to do the game simulator. So I've been trying to tie the two in together. You know, I don't spend a lot of time up here in NorCal because I like traffic and not ever going anywhere, so I get stuck in LA traffic all the time, and San Bernardino sub, Cajon sub. Notice I don't do a lot of Barstow either. So much to do down there. Yeah, if you're interested in having a train simulator, learning curve's a little higher on Run 8 because the other one's a game. Train Sim Classic is a game. Run 8 is a simulator. Again, the learning curve really has to do with single player and learning just the basics of how everything, how to make the engines go and stuff. There's not that much learning of the operations of it, but getting it set up in single player is where what most people have a problem with. However, if you in single player can learn how to operate your equipment correctly, watching the videos that myself, Lazy Farmer, Mateo, there's quite a few people that show you how to do these basics. You operate your equipment correctly and you come into a multiplayer server where all the work is already done. All you have to do is worry about driving from point A to point B or delivering cars to the industries, to the customers, and then picking them up. The choice is yours, but I would, ever since I fell on Run 8 I was waiting for version 3 to come out. I bought it within the week that it was released. Ever since I purchased that, I have never touched, I touched Train Sim World 4 for like 7 minutes in the Cajon Pass and deleted it right after I did that. I bought it at a discount. I don't have Train Sim World 5. I have no intentions of getting it because it is nothing like this. It is not a simulator. It's a game. Not as pretty, but also in those other ones, you can't literally walk from Los Angeles downtown to Barstow like you can in Run 8. You could literally walk or fly there, like fly your avatar or drive it. Right, so I'm not seeing that I'm lined up for anything. I guess I'm pulling straight through. This first one is not thrown, so I'm going straight. The K Mike there, he has me just going straight through here, so all right, let's start a countdown. We'll have to we'll probably be pulling through, disconnecting and backing up into the next one there. The 7,200 feet behind me, as soon as the rear of the train clears, I will stop, disconnect the cars that are outside of this track, and I will be backing up one track over to my left. Still bowing over there. Oh, if you look, oh yeah, I mean, they definitely, so Train Sim World and 2, I really like the Canadian stuff. So these are skins that are in the enhancement Discord that I just put on the other day. So I mean, we wouldn't run these, we're on UP track, so you know, we run UP in the front end or BNSF. But we're running some Canadian stuff on here, right there as well. So it's all on the skins. They're free. You just don't have the routes, but in Train Sim World, it's from 2 is when I purchased that DLC, and it was there is a little bit of work to do, but you got to go forward a mile to come back a mile, drop off 2 cars, go forward a mile, throw a switch, come back 2 miles, park right next to it. So it takes, you know, a long time, whereas this I can stop right next to the switch, throw the switch, and do what I need to do. So in my opinion, if you really like railroading, if you're really into doing railroad, Run 8 is the way to go. There is no alternative. There is Run 8, and then there's everything else that does not even come close. The physics are very close to real thing. There's a lot of people who are real life engineers and conductors that come in. They have this and they say it's close to the way that trains operate in real life, except for when you bust knuckles for no reason, like what happened to me earlier. I got 5,200 behind. Pull into the yard still, so I'll speed up here. It looks like, see that main line signal up there. Don't think that's going to affect me at all. Yeah, as far as the realism, the physics, when you're kicking cars or, you know, assembling, disassembling, Run 8's the closest thing there is to realistic. Again, this comes from people who work for the railroads. And having played, I have Train Simulator Classic, all the Train Sim Worlds up to 4. I have a bunch of videos on Train Sim World in this channel, and they don't even compare. Like playing the original Call of Duty and playing like the modern Call of Duty Warfare or Battlefield 5, you know, playing Battlefield 1942 versus playing Battlefield 2042. It's, you know, it's not even the same ballpark. The people that developed this game, they actually made the routes and DLCs for Train Simulator Classic, and they decided, why keep making stuff for an old game? They'll just make their own simulator. So the ones who did it were making content, purchasable content for those games, decided to make their own train simulator. And all you need to do is get the basic game to start with, and if you like it, expand from there. And again, put a comment down below if you want to know how to proceed if you enjoy it. What other things could help you get better at it, or you know, what things you might need in a certain order. I'd be more than happy to reply to that. Usually I'll point you back to posts that I put in the Discords that explain that and why. It really depends on what it is you like to do. Yeah, Train Sim World doesn't feel right. Like, I prefer doing industry work, yard work, you know, moving trains around, delivering to the industries. There's a bunch of videos I have here on my channel under the live section, as well as the regular one, but the live section, I do this every Sunday, and mostly what I do is yard work. So you'll see me building trains and tearing them apart and delivering them all in different weeks, because, you know, I can't do it all in one day. I started here today about 2 hours ago. I'm sorry, 3 hours ago. I normally only do a 2-hour stream every Sunday, and this was a 3-hour stream today. And I'm just arriving at my destination. Between 2 servers, by the way. So I was a multiplayer server in Southern California, but it's not connected to this one. So we drove it as far as we could, took the train, dumped it in here, and then progressed as if we drove that route. So now this train that I was playing in Southern California is now on a Northern California server. I got 2,700 feet behind me to pull into the yard before I can tie her down here or break her up. I have a restricting ahead of me, so I'm going to be passing that signal, and you'll see me when I disconnect here in just a couple minutes. how the physics kind of work. I don't even know how many that he sent out a package qualified. You know, talking to Mrs. Beer, play up the bowl in Roseville. Now you're filling it up. Well, then you got whatever comes from here. Whatever's left on this train when it gets rebuilt will also be headed your way, sir. Eventually, but we could just AI it from Mike when you're done. Just AI it out of here and head it go to the receiving yard at Roseville. That'd be all right. Let me look at my car counter. Where I'm at 1600. I won't have to rip too much off. Background yet? Uh-oh. That big blue, that always makes me a little nervous seeing that big blue line go right down the middle. That's when it's, pushing into our, I don't know, that releases the couplers. So I've got 1,300 feet to go. Switches are looking good ahead of me. Do have the restricting. 1,200 feet, so I'll give her a stop. We'll figure out once I get the rear end in, give her a stop, go back and look real quick and see where the rear of the train is. We'll pass that signal anyways. 1,000 feet to go. We'll throw some switches and back this up. Notch 2, let's go into notch 1. No, notch 1, rail driver, come on, please. Just give me notch 1, thank you. This is the only thing with the rail driver that a little wonky sometimes. Give me the exact notch that I want. About 500 feet or so. Go to the rear. We'll run faster than these guys are going. 5.6, I need to notch back up. Let's go to 2. Back 2-8, it's full. All right, go back to notch 1. So we want to stop her about here-ish, about right here. Another notch up, notch 1. Lost all our momentum. Come on, notch 2. Nope, wrong way. Got car and a half left, or about 2.5 to go. Do you want me to stay in Sparks Yard tonight? You saying reserve? You have a reservation for me after this long trip? Keep losing my momentum. Takes a minute for the ACs to kick in. About another car to go. Stopper there, so we'll put on the handbrake here, handbrake, handbrake, and we're going to see, let's go up to the very front. Yeah, we don't have too many to go. Let's find our brake point here. We'll pull it, let's see, about here. That's not the button I wanted to do. 100 from the, the pool. You know what, let's break it here. This looks like a clean spot. So we'll isolate the angle cock here. We'll disconnect. Come on back just a hair. I also want to put a couple handbrakes on. Even though I just blew the brakes, it's going to take a minute for the air to bleed out. I got to get here. Handbrake. Handbrake. Okay, and then we will open that coupler. Let's pull forward. And we're going to push the rest of the cars back here. All right, that's going on that. Once we clear switch, we'll push her back. Before we go back, we'll make sure our switches aren't screwed up. Don't split track. 4 miles an hour. Let's see if I can get her past this switch. 2.5, 2 miles an hour. Just need a little bit more. Got her on notch 1. Just a little bit. Now that's not, you can't do that in Train Sim World. All right. Let's go up to the front. So we're on the main here. We're CTC switch, so that's already lined up for us. I'm going to go ahead and isolate this now. I'm not going to need any air in the cars. Don't need to bleed them yet. So we have that switch thrown, that switch thrown. So let's go ahead and let's bring her back. And let's ride the car back. We'll start a timer counter right here. 3, 2, 1, now. 1,300 feet. On this side, because we would have been on the other side anyways. 15 miles an hour, probably a little too fast. That's going downhill a little bit. All right, we got dynamics. Just like that, we got her up here. Handbrake on, handbrake on, handbrake on, on. And start turning off the units. It's the only way to do it right now. Wish we can do like a shutdown sequence. That'd be cool. And let's see. Run back here. I shut that one off. All right, so going to, let's see, this guy is closed. So let's go ahead and disconnect the airline. We'll open the back. Well, and run back here to the first EPUs. Do the same thing. Not delete. Close that. So let's see, I gotta relinquish. Handbrake's on. Make sure the lights are off. That's good. So now there's a train there. Set that. And then we'll set this one over here as well. Go to the other side. Also change our switches. Because I pulled through that light, that was a restricting. No longer restricted. All right, and that means it. So we were able to get all. Whoa, a little bit of a hiccup there. We were able to get all that done, and then that means a long Simulator Sunday is over. So I want to thank everybody for showing up today. Be back on Wednesday on Twitch, 5 p.m. as usual on Wednesdays. Some Super Mega Baseball. We're in the playoffs. And we'll see you right back here for more Simulator Sunday, depending on when the Cowboys play next week. I didn't even look, but somewhere between noon on the West Coast and 4 p.m. on the West Coast.
Well, there goes the neighborhood.
So that we can make sure that we get to watch our game. So thank you again, everybody, for showing up, and thank you for all the follows, and thanks for hanging out with me the last couple hours. We will see you guys on the next one. Thanks, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you on multiplayer. See you on the next one.